Yeah, Crime and Justice in the P, y'all, with Coach Ron. And tonight's guest, Miss Vickie Bomar.
Like my grandmother always said, hard head make a soft behind.
Yes, sir.
What do that mean? Some of you young folks probably wonder, what do a hard head make a soft behind mean? Well, if you keep banging your head up against the wall long enough, you're going to get a soft spot. And you're going to start to understand, you know what, I think maybe I need to turn that knob and go through the door.
Right.
So okay, how did the task force eventually end up approaching you?
Well, I had gotten to it with my boyfriend one morning, and he wouldn't stop, so I called the police on him.
And you had a warrant?
No, I had already cleared my warrant up by then.
Okay.
And when the police came, it was like they already had an APB out on my name because I'm not from here, so it wouldn't have been easy to find me. And when the police came to arrest my boyfriend, they sent a special unit, and it was a lady, and they took me back to the Southside Mission. And then after I made back to the mission, 2 officers came. Well, actually the captain and the sergeant from Tasboro County and Peoria Police Department came, and they started asking me questions. And that night is the night that I took them back to Larry Bright's house, and that is the night that I also picked them up out of a lineup.
Okay.
With no holds barred, no restraints or anything. I did it voluntarily and willingly. That doesn't even go for the saying of the day that I went before the grand jury and pressed the charges of the Supreme Courthouse or whichever place that is.
The grand jury.
Right.
All right, let's back up a minute. So they came to the mission.
Yes.
And they talked to you.
Yes.
And asked you about that you have this problem with this guy one night. Describe him to us. What was he driving and what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they had me to take them back to his house. And then I went to the station, also picked him up out of a lineup. Okay,
now when you picked him up out of the lineup, at that point they hadn't went into his house yet and found any of the bones or anything yet.
No.
Okay, so now when they took you in to do this lineup, they didn't have to talk you into it. They didn't put you up under one of the little lights and pressure you for 2 or 3 hours to do this.
No,
they didn't smack you upside the head and say you're going to go in this lineup, and they didn't beat you up or anything.
No.
So you just went in there and did what they asked you to.
Yeah.
Okay. And once after you picked them out the lineup, then at that point they got a subpoena, a search warrant at least, to go and search his house.
Well, no, actually what they did, they had got a charge on him for marijuana, I believe, and that just only allowed them to arrest him. And they had let him out. His mother bonded him out like 3 or 4 days later.
Okay, but your charges now, after you picked him out of the lineup, they had you press charges on him.
Yes, about like a month later, I went before
but they had you press charges on him.
Yes, I pressed charges on Larry Bright.
And what were the charges?
Unlawful restraint and rape.
Unlawful restraint and rape. After you did the lineup.
After I did the lineup and took them back to his house.
Now, did they have to beat you up or smack you up and make you press charges on him?
No.
So you did that willingly also?
Yes, I did.
Okay, because I've been hearing some other things from the sheriff's department that you were uncooperative, but we're going to get to that in a minute, you know. So after you pressed the charges, did they then go into his house? Did they then get the search warrant and go into his house?
Yes.
Okay, so from your charges being pressed on him,
yes,
they were able to go, the district attorney's office, Kevin Lyons, was able to go to a judge and say, okay, we have this evidence against this man, Larry Bright. We would like a search warrant.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's exactly what
Okay,
happened.
well, I've been trying to call Kevin Lyons, and I haven't been able to get a call back from him. I don't know why. Maybe I'm too black for Kevin. Maybe my skin ain't the right color, or maybe my show ain't the right type of show. I don't know what it is, but I've been to Kevin Lyons' office numerous times to try to get an interview.
We've been there together.
Yeah, we've been there together. And after I went there, I've seen him on the news a few other times. I've seen the news reporters come in and just, you know, sit down and talk with Kevin like it ain't no thing. But they all been white. Kevin, can a black reporter that's been to the joint like myself sit down and ask you a few questions? Or are you too good for me? Or am I too bad for you? I don't know which one it is, my brother, but maybe you should sit down and talk with me, because I think I'm the only black man in Peoria that does a show like this. Matter of fact, I'm the only man in Peoria that does a show like this. You know, if you are too good to talk to me, then maybe you're too good to receive a vote from me. If you're too good to sit down and talk with a black man, maybe black people shouldn't vote for you at all. You know, because one thing I've noticed at the courthouse, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get this out, then we're going to finish talking, Ms. Bomar, is that I've seen a lot of black men go to prison. You know, a lot. And that's understandable. You know, you do the crime, you got to do the time. But in the same regard, I've seen a lot of white men who have the same charges with an even worse background get probation for the same charge that the black guy is going to prison for. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Kevin's sitting there, and maybe some of you people that work at the district attorney office or in the courthouse say, oh, that guy don't know what he's talking about. He's wrong. But I do know what I'm talking about. I had 5 burglaries. It was a white guy with the court right before me. He had 3 burglaries in his background, and he was going in court on 2 more. And he came back from the same judge I had, and he got probation. And I'm sitting in the bullpen and saying, all right, heck, if he got 5 burglaries, you know, and he'd have been to the joint once, and I ain't never been to the joint, well, I should get probation too. I should get tasked. He got tasked. I know I'm going to get tasked. You know, we all in the bullpen like, yeah, coach, you going to get tasked. You ain't got to worry about that. Well, I went in front of that same judge and got slammed. 4 years. I can't even say it, y'all, 4 years. And he gave me 4 years probation. Now, see, that was the slam right there. Because now he's saying, I'm going to give you probation, so after you do your time in a joint, if you mess up any kind of way, we can throw your black ass right back in jail.
And your purpose in life, my brothers and sisters. This Peoria's first African American on network TV, Coach Ron and Peoria Hoops. This has been a Coach Ron Productions. www.coachronproductions.com.